Speaker, and she is Chrys Withrow, and she's speaking from the Speaking to Inform Manual, #2 speech.
Actually, it's #1. I got that wrong online, sorry.
Oh, okay, #1, and I'll have Linda read her objectives.
Chrys's objectives are to select new and useful information for presentation to the audience, organize the information for easy understandability and retention, and present the information in a way that will help motivate the audience to learn. It's 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Recent scientific information about the essentials of sleep and why we aren't getting it have led me to believe that our society needs to learn more about what they're missing. Help me welcome Chrys with her speech, Sleep.
Thank you, John. Sleep. I want a raise of hands in this room. In the last 7 days, if you have gotten a good night's rest every single night, where you've slept all the way through, not getting up for the dog or to go to the bathroom or you're hungry, every night, I want you to raise your hands. I have two of you who can say this. Dr. Stasia Gomanek is a neurologist in Tyler, Texas, and she's of the opinion that a lack of sleep is an epidemic in the civilized world. And there are many reasons why. But today I'm going to look at one of them. And you say, well, the dog gets me up at 4 every morning. Dr. Gomanek would say to you, no, your dog would be so relieved if you would sleep through the night and not get it up every morning at 4 because you're restless and can't go back to sleep. And so he says, I gotta go out. Can I go out? Your dog would love it if you would sleep through the night. Your bladder is meant to be able to make it through the night. You're an animal. In the wild, if a deer or a rabbit, if when they sleep, they are not completely paralyzed, frozen, they are called dinner. The mountain lion will get them, or the fox will get the rabbit. They have to stay absolutely still. They don't get up because their bladder said, well, it's time. We do that because we're not sound asleep. And hence, we wake up. Because now it's like, well, the bladder says, hey, I'm over here. But we're animals. We're supposed to sleep like that, but we don't. Sleep is a huge problem in the civilized world. And we don't understand all of the reasons, but we are learning some of the answers. So Dr. Gomanek, and I will give you her contact information later at the end of the session, she says that most people who are suffering from neurologic problems, and she has a whole slew of them on here, lots of these things, they also have abnormal sleep. In the early 2000s, doctors, neurologists in particular, discovered that people who have diabetes or heart disease or tremors or stroke or memory loss or depression or you name it, invariably also had poor sleep. The doctors put them on CPAPs. The CPAPs were wonderful, but they don't cure the disease. The CPAP allows you to sleep through the night, to get much better sleep. It's a wonderful tool. It is not a cure. Well, how then? Because sleep is what they need. You see, sleep, while you're sleeping, you think, oh yeah, I was running naked through a schoolhouse and then I went down the stairs. No, it's not just about dreams. Sleep is the time that your brain is producing all the wonderful chemicals that you need to heal and maintain your body through the next day. If you don't get enough sleep, you don't get enough chemicals. You make it till noon, 2, maybe only 8 a.m., and you're out. This is a problem, and this leads to all kinds of repercussions. Dr. Goldman states that fixing the sleep can often fix the neurological problem, but just as CPAP wasn't doing it, it wasn't enough. It didn't have the sleep she needed. So I'm going to tell you one of Dr. Goldman's stories, a story of Frank, or as I like to call it, what the brain does all night long. You see, Dr. Goldman had a patient come in with migraine headaches. She sees a lot of people with migraines. Frank is 75 years old. He's only had migraine headaches for maybe the last 5-6 years. He retired at age 65. He had always been a lineman down in Texas, and he worked on power poles. He had it wasn't that strenuous, but you know, an outdoor job all day long. He had a great time, and he never had problems. But he has 3 sisters. His 3 sisters and his mom all suffered migraines all their lives from about the time they were in their 20s. Well, Dr. Goldman says this is an easy one. You see, if you have a neurological problem that is severe enough that you need to see a neurologist, you're probably not healing your body as perfectly as you once did. Now that's a quote she has on her website. I agree with Frank. I agree with Frank. When she says that, this is my response. Huh? I'm sorry, I didn't have migraines before, he says. I didn't have this issue. I didn't have diabetes. I didn't have hypertension. I didn't have... Oh, but you did, she says. You see, the fact that his mother and his sisters all had those migraines is an indicator that that's in his family. He has a predisposition towards migraines. They didn't activate until sometime after he made a huge life change. Why? What changed? What changed? Well, what do we need in order to sleep is the question that translates into doctor terms. And there it is. You see, Frank went from a lovely job outdoors all day, where he had, oh yeah, we don't have that here. We don't have any exposure to sunshine inside, do we? And we're a young mom. You know, we're spending all day with kids and we're not getting enough sleep. No wonder his sisters and his mom got their migraines a whole lot earlier. You see, vitamin D is not. It's hormone D. And it's made in your body. Hormones are something we manufacture in our body. And then our brain takes it and uses it to sleep. If we're not getting enough vitamin D, we're not getting enough sleep. The government recommended dosage is awesome for maintenance of bones. But levels of this hormone to monitor and regulate and assist you in your sleep are higher than the recommended dose. Now you can get it from being outside and enjoying that wonderful sun. And yes, I know you need some sunscreen, but for a half hour a day, go outside without sunscreen. A half hour a day, you can do it. Make sure that you're getting your vitamin D if you want to get sleep. Now, Dr. Stasha Goldmanak is the person that I've referenced. There are other doctors as well, but I really want you to make a note of her name. I want to see pens moving. Dr. Stasha Goldmanak. This is a YouTube video, but she's not talking like a TED Talk. She's talking to people at a conference, a medical conference, and so it's a medical talk. You'll have to wade a little bit through it. Sometimes she uses terms you won't know. It is still worth your time. It's an epidemic. We can all work on curing the epidemic, but we need to participate. I want everyone to watch the video. You have homework, Dr. Gomanak, and yes, indeed, I want you to sleep. Mr. Toastmaster.